Frazier, and I'm the founder and CEO of ICME Inc.
And my name is Nikki Foreman, and I'm with Amazon. We are so happy to be here with you today and excited to introduce you to our new series, Remarkably Told, celebrating Black authors. Today, we are coming together to make sure that our students know the importance of reading and they know that there are people who look like them that have authored books. We have come together for an incredible program, and we have a wonderful lineup of authors today. But before we get started, I think it's important that you know the mission and the purpose of ICME Inc. Devin?
ICME was founded 3 years ago with the mission to dismantle the school-to-prison pipeline, which we refer to as the illiteracy-to-prison pipeline for children of color. We think that it's so important that our children see themselves or their likeness in the books that they read. We understand that in doing so, it encourages reading as well as build their self-esteem and allow them to understand that they too have a place in this world.
And so as we come to a close in this year's Black History Month celebrations around the world, across the country, and right here in Greater Birmingham area, we want to make sure that we too are celebrating the rich cultural diversity that is Black History Month. And so with that, we have our first introduction being made by Dr. Sullivan, Superintendent of the Birmingham City School System. Dr. Sullivan, off to you.
We are thrilled to have one of our very own educator, coach, and author, Carol Roden, join us for a virtual read aloud with ICME Inc. Coach Roden, author of Carol's Dream, is a motivational speaker who uses her love for basketball to light the fire of excellence in teens all over the world. Coach Roden has 16 years of teaching experience. She's a two-time Kodak State Farm All-American and a WBCA honoree. After being cut from the Detroit Shock, Coach Roden went on to achieve the greatest calling God placed upon her life, to be a blessing to others. Now, the Birmingham, Alabama native and Auburn University alum uses her exceptional basketball skills and life experiences to coach, train, inspire, and propel teenage boys and girls to be champions, both in basketball and in life. I present to you, Coach Roden.
Hello, my name is Coach Carol Roden, and today I'm going to be reading my book, Carol's Dream, illustrated by Courtney Monday. Carol was not like most girls in her neighborhood. Carol was an amazing athlete. She loved to play all kinds of sports, but her favorite sport was football. While other girls played dress-up and played with dolls, Carol enjoyed playing tackle football with the boys at her school and in her neighborhood. Carol was only 4 feet 7 inches tall, but she was as tough as nails. Her quick feet and impressive agility skills gave her the smooth moves she needed to elude tackles. Carol was as fast as lightning. She was so fast that when she ran for a touchdown, she would leave the boys in the dust. Even though Carol's mom didn't get a chance to see Carol play often, she enjoyed watching Carol play all sports, but especially football and basketball. Carol's mom was her #1 fan. She was proud of her daughter's athletic ability. Carol's uncles and male cousins, on the other hand, did not like her playing sports of any kind. They would sometimes threaten Carol by saying, "Carol, if you come out here, we're gonna hurt you." Despite her family's threats, Carol continued to play sports because that's what she loved to do. As Carol became a better athlete, people started to notice how talented she was. Even her uncles and male cousins took notice and became fans too. They would cheer for her when she would make a good play. "Way to go, Carol! Good job, Carol!" Carol loved to hear her family cheering for her. The older Carol got, the more playing sports became her favorite thing to do. Even though Carol loved football, her love for basketball began to take over in the 4th grade. That's when Miss Hendricks, Carol's 4th grade teacher, suggested that Carol go to the other end of the court to play basketball with the boys. The boys didn't want to play basketball with Carol. They didn't like the idea of playing basketball with a girl. They hardly ever passed her the ball, and when they did, they would immediately call for the ball back. Carol only got to take shots if she got rebounds or retrieved loose balls. The boys made it very clear that they did not want Carol on their basketball court. But Miss Hendrick made the boys play with Carol anyway. She didn't care about their rude comments. She just wanted to play ball. The boys' hurtful comments didn't stop Carol from playing. She kept working hard to become a better basketball player. Her determination to become a better basketball player created a special bond between Carol and the game. Basketball quickly became Carol's favorite sport. Carol's mother enjoyed watching her play basketball. Her mom wasn't afraid of her playing basketball in the neighborhood with boys because it made Carol tougher. It also made Carol a better basketball player. Besides, there were no other girls in her neighborhood playing sports, so she had to play with the guys. Carol had to teach herself how to score baskets because the boys would always block her shot or steal the ball. The boys were faster, quicker, and stronger than Carol. That didn't stop her, it made her work harder. When Carol turned 12 years old, she taught herself how to shoot a jump shot. She also taught herself how to dribble behind her back and between her legs. When Carol entered middle school, she had the opportunity to play on the girls' basketball team. Because she'd been playing so long, Carol was a much better player than most of her opponents. During middle school, Carol was fortunate to meet Mrs. Patterson. Not only did Mrs. Patterson help improve Carol's game, she also encouraged her, motivated, and inspired her. Miss Patterson urged her to ignore the negativity of her classmates and follow her dreams. Carol's superior basketball skills got her noticed by coaches throughout the city and state. People would fill the stands to watch her play. After her games, fans would stop Carol to say, "Good game." She would always humbly reply, "Thank you." Deep inside, Carol loved hearing people tell her how good she was. Though Carol was a standout basketball player, she was bullied by boys and girls off the court. In fact, Carol hated going to school on most days because she knew she would be teased. Because she enjoyed playing sports, the kids would sometimes ask her if she was a boy or a girl. They were relentless. They even made fun of her hair, clothes, and shoes. Though being bullied was no fun for Carol, she eventually used it to motivate her to play college basketball and earn a degree. Carol would often lay awake in her bed at night and dream of playing college basketball and getting a college degree. She knew it would be a great feeling to walk across that stage and receive her degree. If she did accomplish her dreams, she would be the first person in her family to graduate from college. Perhaps if kids were familiar with her dreams, maybe they would be nice to her and not so hurtful. Carol's mom was proud of her. She supported Carol through all of the bullying and encouraged Carol to never let go of her dreams. Carol's mom continued to attend as many games as she could. Afterward, they would talk about how many points she scored and Carol's dream of going to college to play basketball. The summer entering the 9th grade, Carol received her first college recruitment letter after playing in a basketball tournament. Carol was so thrilled about the letter that she raced upstairs to her mother's room to show her the letter that came in the mail. Her mother was so proud that colleges were noticing her daughter's talent. During Carol's 9th grade year in high school, she noticed that her mother made an extra effort to attend all her basketball games, no matter where they were located. Basketball took on a whole new meaning for Carol. She became such a great basketball player that she was recruited to play travel basketball all over the country. What began as a passion and hobby turned into her ticket to college. With her dreams of going to college only 2 years away, life seemed wonderful until devastation struck Carol's home. She lost her mother to cancer. Carol was only in the 10th grade. Life without her mother was difficult, especially since her mother was her biggest fan. But somehow, Carol managed to use her mother's passing to motivate her to keep working toward her dream. Carol continued to play basketball well so she could earn a college degree. Carol graduated from high school. She needed to improve her grades, so Carol attended junior college for 2 years. After she completed junior college, Carol went on to a large university. Carol's dream, a dream she had shared with her mother, was finally becoming a reality. After playing 2 years at the university, Carol completed her degree. Losing her mother was a tragedy, but Carol did not allow her mother's passing to stop her from achieving her dreams of attending college on a basketball scholarship. Carol walked across the stage and received her college degree, becoming the first person in her family to graduate from college. Wow, I hope you guys enjoyed my story. Little Carol had to endure a lot, but through hard work and dedication, she was able to achieve her dreams of becoming the first person in her family to graduate from college. Even though she lost her mom, even though she was bullied, Carol continued to press, and she eventually achieved her dreams. Remember, dreams do come true, if only you dream big. Thank you for listening. Carol's Dream can be purchased on Amazon. Carol's Dream. Thank you so much for listening.
Hey guys, what's up? It's comedian Funnymane, and first of all, thank you to I See Me Incorporated and Amazon for inviting me to introduce a great author and also giving me the chance to encourage the children to read. I'm telling you kids, there's nothing that makes you smarter and enlightens you and opens up your world like reading. So if you really want to be smart, you really want to impress people, read. I'm telling you, you sound a whole lot smarter, and you become a whole lot smarter for real when you read. I know for sure. Today, I'm introducing an author by the name of Brian Keith Harris II. He is an award-winning educator, lecturer, and motivational speaker, recognized for his multifaceted educational work for Black and brown children. He's the founder of Cultivating Young Kings, an organization that provides best practices and training for educators and community leaders. He's also the founder and artistic director of Sons of Freedom Dance Institute. Brian currently serves as the director of outplacement and graduate support at Bishop John T. Walker School for Boys, which is a tuition-free Episcopal school educating boys in underserved communities in Washington, D.C. Ladies and gentlemen, Brian Keith Harris II.
My History by Brian Keith Harris, illustrated by C.J. Love. I am my history, walking tall, standing in royalty. I am a direct descendant of kings and queens who ruled with grace, wisdom, and dignity. I am my history, a designer, a thinker, a being of creativity. I built the pyramids of Egypt with my strength and agility. I mastered math and science so brilliantly. I am my history, a child of the diaspora, a survivor of slavery. For 400 years, I fought to be free. Escaping the hands of hatred and captivity, I am a powerful source of peace. I am a brave, beautiful light. I am essential to the earth. I am the glimmering hope in the darkness of night. I am my history. The injustices of the world didn't stop me. I overcame obstacles and beat adversity. I stood up like Martin, Rosa, and Jackie. I am a vision of my ancestors. I am a symbol of love. I am a star in the galaxy. I am a gift from above. I am my history, walking tall, standing in royalty. I will continue with this legacy, knowing that nothing can stop me. The end.
Hello, my name is Meredith Lilly. I'm an attorney and I've built a career in politics. I serve as a board member of the I See Me Board Incorporated. I have the great privilege of introducing author Eunice Elliott, who is from Bessemer, Alabama, and is a distinguished graduate of the University of Alabama with a degree in journalism and theater. She is an award-winning comedian, journalist, writer, producer, author, and podcast host. Eunice performs regularly as a stand-up comedian and also enjoys acting, radio broadcasting, and writing, and producing new television shows. After working as a morning show news anchor, Eunice enjoys being off-script, offering her musings about current events, politics, and pop culture. Eunice has written 2 books, So Much Love to Give, which is a children's book, and she's also written 10 Things Your Mama Never Told You But Mine Did. Unconventional wisdom to navigate a world that cares nothing about you or your feelings. Ladies and gentlemen, Eunice Elliott.
So the first book is So Much Love to Give. This is a series called Sugar Loves Bella. This is Sugar, that's Bella. And this first book is the story about how they first met.
Sugar loved to run. Sugar loved to play with her toys. Sugar loved to sleep in her bed, but Sugar got lonely. Sugar had so much more love to give. One day, Mommy brought home a surprise for Sugar. What could it be? The surprise was a puppy named Bella. Sugar looked at Bella. They looked so different. Sugar was big, Bella was small. Sugar's hair was long, Bella's hair was short. They were even different colors. Sugar and Bella were so different, how could they ever get along? But were they really so different? Bella loved to run. Bella loved to play with her toys. Bella loved to sleep in her bed. Bella had so much love to give. Now, Sugar and Bella love running together. They love playing with their toys together. They love sleeping in their bed together. Sugar and Bella loved each other so much, they never thought about how they were different again. Can you color Sugar and Bella? It's a special treat in the back of every book, and once you've colored your pictures, you can upload them online using the hashtag #SugarLovesBella.
So I wrote this story because everybody's different. That's what makes everybody interesting. And that's what makes the world so great, is that we're all different and we can all be friends. We all love to play and eat and run. We all want the same things out of life, just like Sugar and Bella. So you can learn more about Sugar and Bella on sugarlovesbella.com. You can also purchase a book there. You can also purchase a book on Amazon. If you'd like to get an autographed copy, you can do that on sugarlovesbella.com until we can all get together. So thank you for joining me for story time. Thank you for joining Sugar and Bella. They probably want to hear another book. So I have another book I have to read to them. Bye.
All right, guys, let's pause for a moment and hear from some leaders from Amazon as they talk about the importance of literacy.
Hi, I'm Jody Chapman, Operations Manager here at BHAM1.
Hi, I'm Otera Brown, Operations Manager at BHM1 as well.
We want to talk to you very quickly about some benefits and tips for reading. So first and foremost, reading's fun, but reading also increases your brain size, which means you can do more, know more, and just continue to be an awesome person. Second thing reading does for you, reading helps you sleep. I love to sleep. You like to sleep?
Yes.
Sleeping is good for you, all right? Reading activates things in your body which actually help you sleep a whole lot better, all right? Longer uninterrupted rest. And last but not least, reading increases your vocabulary. So if you like to make your friends better, if you like to make your conversations better, if you love just talking to people, an increased vocabulary helps you with that, all right? So reading helps increase your vocabulary. OT, what you got?
So now we want to just make reading fun, right? So each one of you identify what's fun for me. Is it sports? Is it cars, renting, whatever's fun for you? Camping, fishing? Let's get our reading to go in that direction, whether it's articles or books. That's the fun tip. Then at the end of the night, try reading with your family. Whether you say, hey, I want to read the book, or you want your family members to read to you, that gives you opportunities for your family. And as we say, it helps for a better night's rest. Always know, knowledge is power.
Hello, my name is Dr. Autumn Jeter, Superintendent of Bessemer City Schools. I also serve as a Board of Director member with the ICME Board. I have the honor today to introduce Ms. Patrice Mclaren. Patrice hails from the south side of Bessemer, Alabama. She is a proud graduate of Charles F. Hart Elementary School, Davis Middle School, and Jess Lanier High School. She graduated with honors from the Alabama A&M University. She is an educator at heart and has worked to empower children for the past 2 decades. Patrice continues that work as an award-winning, Microsoft-acclaimed, and best-selling author. A fun fact about her: if Patrice wasn't an author, she'd like to be a media specialist. Another fun fact: Bessemer City Middle School's principal, Mr. Van James, is her brother-in-law. She currently resides in Georgia with her husband and 2 children. I present to you none other than author Patrice Mclaren.
Hey y'all, I am author Patrice Mclaren, and I am so happy to be working in collaboration with my dear sister, Miss Frazier, and Amazon as we celebrate Black History Month and promote literacy at the same time. All right. So I'm a children's book author, right? I've published 4 books. My first book, baby, and the book that I will be sharing with you all today is titled, Have You Thanked an Inventor Today? We'll find out more about this one a little later, right? Then there's my second book, baby. This one is titled, Have You Thanked the Kidventor Today? I guess y'all could tell I like inventions. You could probably also tell from the title that this book talks about inventions that were created by kids. Now, I'm about to blow y'all mind real quick. Did you all know that a kid invented the TV? Oh yes, mind-blowing information, people. Well, you can find out about that and other inventions invented by children in this book right here. There's also my Thank an Inventor coloring and activity book, just full of over 100 different fun activities that you can use in connection with my Thank an Inventor series. And then there's my title, I Am Because I Choose. Now in this book, we learn that we get to choose our behavior, okay? So like I said earlier, really excited to be here with you all. First of all, I'm excited because I am from Bessemer, Alabama. Oh yes, people, grew up in Bessemer, Alabama, graduated from Charles F. Hart Elementary, graduated from Jess Lanier High School. So the fact that I get to spend a portion of my Black History Month with you all is everything, okay? But then I'm also excited because, ooh, it's Black History Month, right? And Black History Month just so happens to be my favorite time of year, right? But even with all of that goodness, that's still not the real reason why I'm excited. Now, do you all want to know the real reason why I'm excited? And I mean the for real reason why I'm excited. Okay, let me tell you. The real reason why I'm excited is because I just absolutely love sharing information with very beautiful, very brilliant, very wonderful, very glorious, very marvelous, very talented, very outstanding, very dynamic little scholars like yourselves, okay? Now, I know everybody might not be familiar with the term scholar, so I'm going to define it for you, okay? A scholar can be defined as a person who has much knowledge, right? In other words, y'all, it's somebody who knows a lot of stuff, okay? But then a scholar is also defined as a student. So now, being that each and every last one of you all are students, and Miss Patrice knows that you all are students who know a lot of stuff, then that means that right now, I have the honor and pleasure and privilege of sitting before a group of brilliant scholars. And so for that reason, I think that before we do anything else, what you all have got to do is give yourselves a hand clap for being the brilliant scholars that you are, okay? I need you to give yourselves a round of applause, people. Give yourselves a round of applause. All right, that's right. So now, we've established who you all are. You all are a group of brilliant scholars, no doubt. And we've established who I am. I am a children's book author. So now, as the author, what I am going to do is share my book with you all right? So I'm going to share my screen. Okay, and I'm going to put myself down here, and I'm going to make it extra big, and then we are going to read, all right? The title of the book is Have You Thanked an Inventor Today? It's written by me, Patrice Mclaren. It is illustrated by Deanne Wang. All right. This world is full of inventions. Some of them we don't even think about. But if we took the time to think about them, we'd realize we wouldn't want to live without them. You see, inventions, they make our lives much easier. And they also make our lives more fun. So we should thank the inventors who invent great inventions, for without them, we might not get anything done. Like, for instance, when your mama wakes you up in the morning to let you know that it is time for school. You stretch and yawn, rub the corners of your eyes, and probably wipe away last night's drool. Yuck. That's when you happen to glance over at your clock and realize that you're running a bit late. Well, you wouldn't know that were it not for Benjamin Banneker. He invented the first clock in the United States. So you put on clothes and you rush into the bathroom. You wash your face and brush your teeth, then brush your hair. Be sure to thank Lyda Newman for part of your morning grooming, as the modern day hairbrush was her awesome idea. Afterwards, you're called into the kitchen for breakfast. This morning, it's cereal with fruit and wheat toast. Well, thank goodness John Stannard improved the refrigerator, because hot milk with your cereal, that's pretty gross. And when you're on your way to school, whether you're a bus rider, a car rider, or you walk, you have to thank Garrett Morgan for the traffic light. Otherwise, none of our streets would be safe to cross. Then, after you settled into your classroom, And you've taken out your supplies because you're such a scholar. Please remember to show love to Mr. John Love, for his invention was none other than the pencil sharpener. Now, as much as you love to learn, you'll admit that sometimes lunch is your favorite time of day. Well, you can thank John Robinson for your lunchbox, but for what's inside it, it's your mom that you should thank. And what does mom usually pack in your lunchbox? Tasty snacks that make your belly go yum. Like peanut butter, made popular by George Washington Carver, or potato chips, invented by George Crumb. Fast forward, the school day is now over. It's been a long one and you are happy to be home. You check the mailbox, invented by P. Downing, then chill in front of the air conditioner, improved by Frederick Jones. Plus, your teachers didn't assign any homework, so you decide to play a few games on the cell phone. Well, if it wasn't for Henry Sampson's gamma electric cell, believe it or not, y'all, there would be no cell phone. The horror. And these are just a few awesome inventions. There are countless others that I didn't even mention, like the doorknob, invented by Old Dorsey, or the guitar, invented by Robert Fleming. Sarah Boone invented the ironing board, and Thomas Stewart invented the mop. Lonnie Johnson invented the super soaker, and W.A. Martin improved the lock. So now, here's a cool thing for you to do. You should take just a moment or two and ponder or think about how life would be if these inventions weren't created for you. Think about it, y'all. What if there were no traffic lights? Well, then none of our streets would be safe. What if there were no alarm clocks? Well, we'd always be late. What if there were no guitars? How could we ever rock out? And oh my goodness, what if there were no potato chips? Oh, I don't even want to think about it, right? So I want you to ponder over how life would be if these inventions weren't created for you. Then, as you lie in your bed this evening and you think about how your day was spent, don't forget to thank an inventor. Then dream about what you'd like to invent. The end. Hey. Well, I hope that everyone enjoyed the book. I hope that you all learned something from the book. I hope that you all noticed something extra special about each inventor highlighted in the book, and that is that they were all African American, right? I hope that you all remember that these are the shoulders upon which you stand, right? I want you to remember how brilliant and amazing that you are. And I want you to always remember that because these are the shoulders upon which you stand, that there is absolutely nothing, and I do mean nothing, that you cannot do. All right, beautiful people, I'm out of here. Happy Black History Month. Bye.
Greetings. I'm Jason Eppinger, Alabama Market President for Citizens Trust Bank. In addition, I'm a proud board member of ICME Inc. It is my distinct pleasure to introduce our next guest, Arthur DeCory Hale. DeCory is the father of three, Nyla, Lennox, and Emerson. As a matter of fact, Nyla is the inspiration for the book, Ebenezer the Sneezer, as she suffers from allergies, and this was DeCory's way of letting her know that it's okay to be different. In his spare time, DeCory loves to share his passion for reading, which he gained from his father at an early age, to youth all around the country. Now help me welcome DeCory. I'm sure that this will be a treat.
Hi guys, I'm DeCory Hale, and I'd like to introduce you guys to my friend, Ebenezer. Today we're actually going to tell his story through the book, Ebenezer the Sneezer, written by myself and illustrated by my good friend, Lauren Lacey. Ebenezer the Sneezer tells of a day in the life of Ebenezer and the things that he sneezes on. This story is also near and dear to me because my oldest daughter, Nyla, used to suffer from severe allergies when she was younger. So I wrote Ebenezer the Sneezer not only as an entertaining bedtime story for her, but also as a way to let her know that it was okay to be different. Whether she had allergies, whether she had a disability, whether there was something else going on, it's okay to be different. And I want you guys to know that it's okay to be different, because I'm sure as you look around the class, you'll see that a lot of you guys have different hair colors, different skin color, different eye colors. There's things that you like to eat, things that you don't like to eat, but it's okay because it's kind of what makes you who you are, and it makes you unique. And at the end of the day, we're still human, and you'll find out that you have more in common than what you do different. So having said that, let's dive into Ebenezer the Sneezer, shall we? Special dedication to my daughter Nyla, for whom Ebenezer the Sneezer was created. I wrote this book to satisfy her hunger for literature and to make reading more real for her. Thank you for sharing this special moment with me. I love you. Ebenezer was a sneezer. Ebenezer sneezed so much, he sneezed on everything he touched. He sneezed on a bright red car. He sneezed on a clear glass jar. He sneezed on a brown spotted dog. He sneezed on a bumpy green frog. He sneezed in every room of the house. He even sneezed on a little gray mouse. He sneezed on a furry gray cat. He sneezed on his wooden baseball bat. He sneezed on his favorite blue dish. Somehow he even sneezed on a baby goldfish. He sneezed under his favorite drooping tree. He sneezed on a little bitty bumblebee. He sneezed in the bright red barn. He sneezed all around that great big farm. He sneezed on a can. He sneezed on a man. He sneezed on a boat. He sneezed on a coat. He sneezed on a tire. He sneezed on a fire. He sneezed on a rug. He sneezed on a slug. One day, Ebenezer had simply had enough. He wanted to stop this ridiculous sneezing stuff. He went to the clinic to fix his trouble and said, "Please, I need a doctor on the double." The doctor tried his best to fix his pains. He tried to stop the sneezes again and again. At last, the doctor ran through the door. He said, "Hooray, Ebenezer, I found a cure." This spoon of medicine should do the trick. Ebenezer drank it down quick, quick, quick. Will it work, he wondered. He wasn't quite sure. But alas, he sneezes. Nope, no more. Guys, thank you for taking this journey with me. I appreciate it, and I hope you've enjoyed the ride. I would like you to know this book is a labor of love dedicated to all of you who enjoy reading. Books are vehicles that allow you to imagine doing anything and traveling anywhere you desire simply by reading its wonderful pages. Reading allows you to explore great adventures. Just like the people in the books who do great things and become what they dream, you can too. It's true, you can be whatever you want to be and never let anyone tell you otherwise. With hard work and dedication, your dreams can come true. No matter what may come your way, just keep focused. Your life is your gift, and it is special. So create the very best life you can.
Greetings, I'm Dr. Quintett Ross Jr., the 15th president of Alabama State University and a member of the board of directors for ICME Incorporated. I am a proud graduate of Alabama State University, the greatest HBCU in the land. Today, I'm honored to introduce to you the author of HBCU Proud, Ms. Yvette Manz, who's a graduate of an HBCU. She earned her degree in early childhood education from Clark Atlanta University. Yvette enjoys her work as an educator, traveling, reading, and spending time with her family and friends in Atlanta, Georgia. We hope that you enjoy.
Hello, everyone. My name is Yvette Manz, and I'm the author of the children's book, HBCU Proud. This story was written by me and illustrated by Katerina Netto. Let's jump into the story and find out why this story is called HBCU Proud. And here is the title page with a very important statue that we'll see later in the story. I guess I'll look around and entertain myself. I sighed. I was still half asleep from our early morning drive that lasted for hours, just to wait forever in the lobby of this building. Hang on a sec. I'm almost done here in the alumni office. Why don't you take a look at the photographs on the wall? Aunt True suggested as she buckled up her purse. Alumni is a vocabulary word that means people who graduated from a college. So apparently Aunt True has graduated from this college that they're visiting. I walked aimlessly, then stopped to focus on one photograph. I gazed at the image of an older man with a long handlebar mustache and a patch of hair covering his chin. The quote underneath the portrait read, "Strive for that greatness of spirit that measures life not by its disappointments, but by its possibilities." What did this man mean by the spirit? How old is this guy? He must be 100 years old by now. I can't imagine being remembered for words I said just one time. Are you ready to explore the HBCU campus, Q? Aunt True asked. I liked when Aunt True called me Q. It made me feel special, different, unique. Q is her nickname for me because I have the same name as her brother, who's my dad. My grandpa has the same name, and so does his father. And then there's me, William J. Evans IV. The Q is short for quadruple, which is the number of times this name has been used in my family. So his family calls him Q for short, as a nickname. Do you have a nickname that your family or friends call you? What is your nickname? And I wonder how you got that nickname. Make sure you share with a friend or family member about your nickname and why it's special to you. Okay, what is an HBCU? I asked. I usually enjoy traveling with Aunt True on school breaks, but why bring me to another school when I was on vacation from my own school? Aunt True answered, HBCU means historically Black college or university. A long time ago, Black people didn't have options to get an education. So HBCUs were started so we can have a place to call home. And to this day, there's over 100 HBCUs in existence. Of course, there are tons to choose from, but I only choose the best for my family, and that's Legacy University. Maybe one day you'll be a student here and keep the HBCU tradition going. We'll see, I shrugged and peered around to take in all the sights and sounds. So Legacy University is a fictional HBCU, but it has a lot in common with the real HBCUs that exist. The people look so different here. Everybody had their own style. Some students looked like they were going to a business meeting, and other students had on Legacy University t-shirts with some nice kicks. That's another way of saying shoes. I watched a group of students wearing different colors as they talked and laughed with each other. The students also had all kinds of hairstyles, Braids, locks, long hair, short hair, bald head, low face, twisty hairstyle, and tall afros. But these people all had one thing in common. They moved swiftly as the tall clock on the watchtower chimed 9 o'clock a.m. I needed to keep close to Aunt True so I didn't get swept away in the wave of people. And take a look at the students here. So like he mentioned, some students are wearing Legacy University t-shirts. Some students are wearing kente cloth or traditional African fabrics to show their Black pride at a Black college. And some students are wearing different color combinations. So there are girls that are represented, or women, young women who are representing sororities. So this young lady in pink and green, this young lady in crimson and cream, this young lady in royal blue and white, and this young lady in royal blue and gold are representing 4 of the sororities that are part of the Divine Nine. And the Divine Nine is a group of fraternities and sororities who work together to uphold important missions like keeping school first, giving back to the community, and other causes that are very important to them. Now, those are the 4 sororities. Let's take a look at the 5 fraternities. The fraternities are represented by the young men who are in black and gold, and by the young men who are in crimson and cream, by the young men who are in purple and gold, by the young men who are in royal blue and white, and by the young men who are in old gold and brown. So those are the 5 fraternities. So 5 fraternities, which are groups of men, and 4 sororities, which are groups of girls or women. They represent the Divine Nine. So that's what you see here. So ask a family member or a teacher or someone you know to give you more information about fraternities and sororities, and maybe you can explore and learn more. Let's get back to the story. We marched over to the student center where a guy with a black and red shirt waved us down. Did this guy know us, or is he just really friendly? Aunt True read my thoughts and explained, "Oh, that's my old classmate, DeMarcus. He works here at the university and he will show us around before his lunch break." "Trudy," he exclaimed with his arms extended, "you haven't aged since we were here on the yard." "Well, Marcus, it's great to see you again too," she cheerfully responded as she flipped her braids over her shoulder to embrace or hug her longtime friend. "I go by True now. No need to call me by my full name." She has a nickname too. "And speaking of names, this is my nephew, Q." "What's going on, young brother?" DeMarcus said as he shook my hand. Aunt True looked at me with a straight face as I replied, "Nice to meet you." "That's a sharp young man, True," Marcus chuckled. "He's got a firm handshake and good manners." I smiled politely, stood up straight, and fixed my collar. He was feeling very proud in that moment. Marcus continued, "Let's start our tour before the lunchtime rush." I nodded my head in agreement. I liked Marcus. He was funny, nice, and smart. He had to be smart if he noticed how sharp I am. Plus, he graduated from Legacy University and used to play in the marching band. He told me he plays the horns just like I do. The 3 of us toured the campus, starting inside the School of Business, and Marcus told us the students were studying how to be entrepreneurs, which are people who start their own businesses. It felt like we walked 100 miles. Everywhere we went, people were hard at work and focused on their lessons. We weaved in and out of the College of Education, the Research Center, the Media Department, the Social Work Building, the Arts Department, and the Financial Aid Office. Whew, it was all a blur. You know that building we just stepped out of? That's where you go to pay for your classes and claim your scholarships. Scholarships? I didn't know what that word meant. Do you know what scholarships are? Because Q didn't know. If you know, tell somebody that you know what a scholarship is. Aunt True saw how confused I was and explained it means free money for college you can earn right now by getting good grades, writing essays, your sports skills, volunteering, and so much more. "Don't forget about the band scholarships," Marcus interjected, marching in place and playing an invisible trumpet. That's how I made my way through Legacy University. It seems like Marcus really enjoyed his time at the band and his time at Legacy University. I mean, he still works there, so he must have enjoyed his time at Legacy University. Just as Marcus reminded us of his musical talent, the beat of not too far away drums echoed in the air. Can we see the band practice? I asked hopefully. Marcus replied, sure, it's on the way to the cafeteria, our final stop on our HBCU tour today. We climbed up the stairs of the bleachers and sat on the hot metal seats. We watched and listened to the band rehearsing on the football field. The band director blew his whistle and swirled his hands above his head. I imagined myself playing my horn on the field one day in a uniform with shiny buttons, just like theirs. We left the football stadium and headed down to the sidewalk passing by the dorms. I couldn't believe kids slept and lived at school by themselves. That might be fun, I pondered. And look at the band, and you can see the 3 characters we've met observing and watching them in their uniforms as they play a variety of instruments. After a long, hot trek or walk, we arrived at the student center and into the cafeteria. Are you hungry, young brother? Marcus asked me. I'm so hungry I could eat a horse. I don't think he really wanted to eat a horse. Marcus replied, sorry to inform you, but they don't serve horse in the calf. He chuckled and looked at Aunt True. But it is Friday, so you know what that means. Fried Fish Friday, Aunt True and Marcus answered in unison. Wow, Aunt True gushed. It makes my heart so happy to see our beloved Legacy University still standing strong and just as great today as it was back when we were in school. Some things never change. Actually true, Marcus replied. Some things do change. Take a look at the neighborhood around our campus. Aunt True asked, what happened to the old apartment buildings down the street? Luxury townhomes. What about the corner store where we would go to grab snacks? An organic supermarket. The park where we used to shoot hoops? A fenced-in dog park. How about the wing spot where you could get a quick bite to eat? A fancy coffee shop. So what Marcus is showing, True, is that the neighborhood around is changing around the college, which is something that's actually happening around a lot of HBCU campuses. Sometimes when this happens and the residents and people who live around those neighborhoods aren't allowed to stay because the costs are too expensive or they're not included in the new neighborhood plans, that's called gentrification. So Marcus is pointing that out in the neighborhood around the HBCU. So they're tearing down everything old and bringing in all this new stuff. So I want you to think, would you like to live in the old neighborhood or would you like to live in the new neighborhood? And what are the benefits of each? For example, True might find these to be very special to her because they're familiar, they're close by, but other people might think that these options are better for them. They may want a dog park instead of a basketball park. So think about the benefits or the good things about both, and there might be some downsides to both. This is what they're about to debate about. Look, Marcus, change is a good thing. The students at Legacy University need better living options around them, Aunt True insisted. I agree, True, Marcus responded, but no one's ever bothered our campus until now. It makes me wonder why there's so much interest in our neighborhood all of a sudden. Every day I see more and more construction projects around our HBCU campus. This side of town has never been touched. Now it's changing so much. So how do you think Marcus feels about the gentrification and construction projects that are happening around the HBCUs? He might be kind of worried or concerned about them, but let's see. It was such a beautiful day. We grabbed our lunches and had a picnic under the shade of a tall oak tree. Students called this place the quad, others called it the yard, but for me, it was the perfect spot for me to enjoy my catfish sandwich, french fries, salad, lemonade, and peach cobbler. Why do you care so much about the construction, Marcus? I asked in between bites, getting back to our last conversation. I looked at Aunt True. She usually hates when I talk with my mouth full. But this time, she just smiled at me as I covered my mouth with my hand. I continued, what's the big deal about the construction in the neighborhood? Well, Q, he looked around. You see this land we're sitting on? This is hallowed ground, meaning it's special. It holds our HBCU's history and tradition. The students and graduates are HBCU proud, and our experience is more than just students going to classes, step shows, homecoming, parties, or football games, even though those are fun things to do. Historically, Black colleges represent the strength of people who had to find a way or make one. Some HBCUs, he continued, began toward the end of slavery. Black people needed places to get an education, whether it was in agriculture, mechanics, teaching, nursing, history, religion. The list goes on and on. The possibilities were endless, but the resources weren't. And when he says resources, he means funding and materials and books and things that they needed for HBCUs. So let's take a look at the illustrations here. This is one of my favorite pages of illustrations because it looks like a scrapbook, and these illustrations are actually drawings of real pictures of historically Black colleges back in the 1800s and early 1900s. Aunt True added, do you remember those students we saw earlier? Those young people are the leaders of tomorrow. HBCUs are a greeting ground for some of the best doctors, teachers, scientists, musicians, athletes, writers, actors, entrepreneurs, and trailblazers the world has yet to see. So now let's take a look at these illustrations. What do you notice? If you notice that these illustrations look newer and these look older, you're right. These are more current illustrations because they're in color and you see some of the trends and hairstyles are some that we would typically see today. An interesting fact is these are real illustrations of students on campus, and this illustration here is an illustration of me and one of my friends when we were in college at the homecoming parade. So our lovely illustrator, Katerina, she put this drawing in there from a real photograph that I gave her. This whole time, I wondered why Aunt True and Marcus loved this school so much. I finally figured out why Aunt True brought me here. I get it now, I explained. It wasn't just about the fun things and the cool people I saw here today. It was about the spirit. If you remember, he mentioned the spirit on the first page when he saw the portrait of the man in the alumni office. The spirit of former slaves, the spirit of revolutionaries, the spirit of everyday people, the spirit of greatness. That's why everyone here is HBCU proud. I'm glad you get it, young brother, Marcus replied. It's just about time for me to return to work. And I looked over Marcus's shoulder and I couldn't believe what I saw approaching from the distance. What do you think he saw over Marcus's shoulder? Remember, they're still outside having a conversation about the neighborhood changes, and then all of a sudden, all the conversation stops, and Q is distracted by what he sees behind him. What do you think he saw? Let's read more to find out. Beep, beep, beep. The sound of a construction truck backing into the front gate of Legacy University interrupted him mid-sentence. Oh no, I gasped. They're trying to tear away a part of this HBCU's land, just like they're doing in the rest of the neighborhood. Hey, you can't have our school. This land represents tradition, legacy, and pride. The construction workers tied a chain around the statue, the same statue we saw on the cover, and yanked it out of the ground. That gold statue was identical to the man with the spirit quote in the painting in the alumni office. So this portrait of this man is also this statue. He must be very important to this university's history if they have a painting of him and a quote and a statue. This guy's name is actually W.E.B. Du Bois, and I would like for you to research why he's so important to HBCUs and Black culture, because he did a lot of things in real life. And you'll find out why there's actually a real statue of him here in Atlanta, Georgia. I raised my hand to get his attention and I shouted, "Stop!" Look at him here. He must be talking really loud because he said, "Stop." The truck froze. The driver parked his vehicle and leaped down from his seat. I marched over to him on the ground that generations of leaders walked on before I did. I think in this moment, Q might be feeling very courageous. He might be feeling brave. Even though he's a child, he has the courage to stop something from happening safely, of course, and his guardians are close by. But he didn't endanger himself, but he used his voice to prevent something that he did not like from happening. And I hope you know that your voice is powerful and your voice matters too. "Hey kid, chill out," the construction worker said as he chewed his gum with his mouth open. "No one's messing with your school. You see that statue over there?" He pointed to where he had started his work. "We're moving it closer to the front gate. Some lady who graduated from here donated a bunch of money this morning. So the statue's getting a new location where everyone can see it," he explained. "Are you sure about that?" I eyed him suspiciously. So that means he's looking at him like, is he telling me the truth? "Scout's honor," he replied, still smacking his gum. And you see Q says, okay, he believes him, gives him a thumbs up, and he's saluting like, you can trust me. I promise, I'm being honest. Aunt True called me over to say goodbye to Marcus. Before we strolled to the car, I looked behind us to the construction worker. He gave us another salute, and we watched him deliver on his promise to move the statue to the front of the campus. So, he was being honest. He put it in a closer location where everyone could see. How do you think Q felt in that moment? Some people think he might have been embarrassed because he made a big deal over something that wasn't happening. Some people might think that he feels fine. He just wanted to make sure that the HBCU culture and tradition was able to stay at that school. And some people think that the mysterious lady who graduated, who donated a bunch of money this morning, might have been Aunt True. There she is in the alumni office with her pocketbook. Maybe she donated back to her college. A lot of alumni do that to help students who are coming in the next years. So what do you think? Do you think Aunt True was the woman who donated? On our drive home in the car, the sky turned orange and the trees on the side of the road became a blur. Aunt True broke the silence and whispered, I'm proud of you, Q. Me? Why? I asked curiously. Is it because you think I love Legacy University like you do? No, it's because you stood up for what you believed in. You were bold and you fought for what was important to you, Aunt True replied. Oh, thanks, Aunt True. I smiled. Sorry to break it to you, but I don't know if I'll go to Legacy University when I get old enough. It's too early for me to decide. One thing is for sure, though, I'm definitely attending an HBCU. Aunt True winked at me through the rearview mirror. As sleep fell over me, I thought about the people in the pictures, the students I saw today, and of course, the man on the statue. I wondered what my future will be like, where I'll live, which HBCU I'll go to, or even what I'll do for a living. But I do know one job I will have, and that's to continue the family tradition of being HBCU proud. And this is a picture of Q on his HBCU campus. The end. And if you see on the back of the book, there's a summary about what's happening, another illustration, and there's a picture of me, the author, in front of the real statue from the story. So, what did you think of the story? Thumbs up, thumbs in the middle, thumbs down. Did you like it? What would you change about this story? What would you have changed that Q had done a little bit differently? What would you have done in this situation? Think about all these things and then think about how you can contribute to the amazing culture of historically Black colleges and universities. They need smart and intelligent children who grow up to be students just like you, so you can take your talents to HBCUs as well. Again, my name is Yvette Manz, and I'm the author of HBCU Proud, and I hope you have a wonderful day. See you next time.
What's up?
So,
What you
what did you think? Did you enjoy it?
Did you enjoy it? I know you did. I did.
I did. I enjoyed it.
I don't know about
If
you,
you did.
Devin, but
I'm
I'm
quite
going
sure.
to get those books, girl.
Oh, I am too. Definitely gonna have those in my own library.
Yes. And I cannot wait to do this again with you soon.
I agree. I so enjoy and appreciate this partnership. I look forward to us doing many other things in the future, especially surrounding around reading for our children.
Absolutely. Thank you to all of our authors, all of the folks who provided introductions to our authors, and more importantly, thank you, students, for participating in today's activity. We are so excited to introduce you to the joy of reading and cannot wait for you to see what we have planned next. Until next time, bye.